This is Clearly Unfiltered Snippets, where I dive into bite-sized pieces of unfiltered reality. Snippet 2, The Wedding. Just over 26 years and 9 months ago, they tied the knot, committing to better and worse, and all the other traditional vows. He was 22, she was barely 23. It was a morning affair followed by brunch. Most of the people there were people they now no longer know. His best friend made him cry. That speech was beautiful. His best man corralled the boys and set them upon the Silver Bullet, a second-hand Renault 9 recently purchased from his gran for a miserly sum. They shoved confetti in the air vents and wrote Team Durex on the rear window with sneaker whitener. His conservative family's jaw dropped. There was a condom joke written on the car. That confetti continued to deploy from the vents and irritate them for years. Those early years had their challenges. Learning to live together is no easy feat, let's be honest, particularly when the model all around them was patriarchy and traditional gender norms. Their evangelical context didn't help either. Unhealthy gender roles, purity culture, and microcosmic expectations of perfection added pressure. Also, they found that learning to understand each other when one has not yet understood oneself is a journey. He felt the pressure of patriarchal norms, being a man, making the right decisions. She, he later learned, felt unseen, misrepresented, and unheard. She needed to bloom but felt hemmed in. He was selfish too. Made decisions he thought best for them when actually they were best for him, or so he thought. As way leads on to way, he ended up working for a church. It was a wealthy community, but they were living on scraps and racking up debt, even as 2 became 4. These years almost broke them. Because it was God's work, there were no boundaries. Worked to the edge, he burnt out. She was simply trudging through every day. He packed it all in, and 4 became 5. This seems like a bleak tale of a relationship doomed to fail, but it isn't. The cliched glimmer of hope was always there. It existed in their connected hearts, a connection that started years earlier on a random day when she stepped out of her comfort zone on a university campus and decided that getting to know that awkward boy, sporting a 90s alternative haircut, signature black clothes, Doc Martens and ripped tights, bought in the women's department at Woolworths, would turn into something amazing. They became best friends. Not a day went by when they didn't see each other. Like penguins made for life, this was a special kind of destiny that would weather the storms and last forever. So they had the wedding, they had the kids, and they lived a life together and continue to do so. And as time went on, they did the work. They worked through individual and collective trauma. They vowed to not back away from difficult things. They would face their demons, go to therapy, learn to love themselves, and commit to continuing to love each other. He learned to unlearn that patriarchal mindset. She changed the narrative of her childhood and became the parent she deserved to have. They had difficult conversations about difficult things, unpacking their lives and finding freedom outside the confines of the small world they knew growing up. They've learned that each working on themselves is just as important as working on their togetherness. They have a beautiful life together despite being very different people to the youngsters who met on a university lawn in 1994. They're still best friends. And he, in particular, is grateful for that, especially now as he records this podcast and acknowledges how difficult he has been to live with and how her inordinate amount of love and patience with him, as he has learned to be himself, is one of the greatest gifts he'll ever receive. And as he reflects, he'd do it all again, the wedding and everything else. And it's been worth it, because to find one puzzle piece that connects to another perfectly and with ease is the most satisfying thing ever.